Hello everyone, very nice to talk about consumer behavior in this video here. It's very important to study about consumers. So if you are a marketer, to understand the consumer is one of the basic and important thing as a marketer. So let's be happy, and the subject, I promise you that the subject will be really interesting for all of us. Let me take you through a series of slides during this video presentation. So let's start here the very understanding between these terminologies, consumer and customer. Who's a consumer and who's a customer? Are these two people different, and are there any big differences between consumer and customer? Are these two terminologies one and the same? I would say no. Okay, and customer can be a broader term that can encompass the meaning of consumer. I would say customer is somebody who would buy these things and who may not use these things. Okay, so a person who would buy or purchase a piece of bread, for example, your mother is going to a shop, retail shop, buying a packet of milk and a packet of bread, and coming back, and maybe she toasts and makes the no and makes a hot milk and she serves it on your breakfast table. So all of us go and consume, take the breakfast bread and milk, and all of us become consumers. But who bought it? Your mother. Mother is the customer of for that retail shop, and you become the end user of that bread and milk. So that is the difference between consumer and customer. And customer, there are other terminology like client is also a customer sometimes. Let's move on to the next slide. And I ask you this question. Now, as a consumer, you would have bought many things, maybe for your home, or maybe for yourself, or maybe for your brothers and sisters. I would ask you, as a marketer, why should you bother, or why should somebody be bothered about somebody else's behavior? That why should you study the behavior of the consumers? So that is a question to you as a beginner now. I would say that as a marketer, it's very important to study, understand the behavior of customers and consumers. And that is why we have this subject as a very core elective of marketing domain. And now I'm taking you to the subject. What do you feel like, what do you feel like looking at this picture here? I have presented a picture of bike, or latest bike in the market. Can you just list down some of the features that, looking at the picture, whatever just strikes your mind, whatever comes on top of your mind? Like, now bike is stylish, bike is for youth guys like me. So maybe some of the features you can just list down. Now, let me take you to the next slide. Some of you would have felt that no, this is stylish, this is expensive, this is sporty, and this is trendy. Now, I would say some of the characteristics, I would just list down some of the characteristics of any product. Doesn't matter, no, doesn't stick along with Pulsar. But if I ask you, is your Pulsar exciting? Is your Pulsar, does it mean it is sincere? It means to sincerity. Does it refer to ruggedness? Is it competent enough? And is it a sophisticated vehicle? And if I give you these 5 qualities for your bike, what is that top characteristic that strikes your mind about Pulsar? Maybe most of you would say that it is exciting to ride in the latest stylish bike. So you would say that exciting and stylishness. So maybe that quality of the Pulsar is stopping onto your mind. Now, let's go to the next slide. I would ask you, what are the qualities do a Apple consumer have? I'm not asking about the qualities of Apple iPhone. Rather, I'm asking you the qualities of Apple iPhone consumer. So maybe you would tell me that a consumer is looking for innovative features. A consumer who feels that he should or she should possess a device that has a modern outlook, and they are not the usual kind. Which one? The Apple iPhone. So likewise, I am also very unique. They try to match up whatever brand they possess. They try to match up their features with that of the product features. Now let us go to the next slide. What do you see in this kid? Okay, do you see a no, very energetic kid, a happily playing, a healthy kid? Yes, of course. No, now Milo says that no, your kid becomes healthy while consume if you are consuming Milo. So Milo means strong. So that is what is depicted in those posters or advertisements developed by the company. That's exactly I wanted to tell you guys. The study of consumer behavior will describe what product and what brands the consumers buy, and why do they buy them, and when do they buy them, and where do they buy them, how often, how frequent they buy them, and how frequent they use them, how to evaluate after the purchase, and whether to buy it again or not, a repeat purchase. All that will be dealt in your consumer behavior domain. And also the people buy bikes because they need a personal transportation. You might feel no, it's no, the I bought a pulsar bike because it's required for my transportation. The types of bikes the people choose are determined not only by needs, not only by their utility values, or buying of a cell phone does not mean that I bought the cell phone only for its utility value. It's not that alone, but it also expresses sometimes that how the owner of that particular brand try to express themselves. It also expresses the owner's characteristics. That way, the study of consumer behavior becomes very important discipline for all of us. Now let's see on the next. Now, let's see what do we mean by marketing concept. The essence of marketing consists of satisfying consumer needs, creating value, and also retaining customers. This is a very, very broad one. So it starts from the analyzing the consumer needs, and then in the company, in the firm, in the organization, you create that value, and then you take that product brand, that value to the customers, distribute it to the customers. Once they have bought, you are supposed to retain that customers for the next purchase. So this becomes a very, very important and a very, very broad scope for marketing. And then I'll now take you for the development of this, to reach to this marketing concept level. Where did we actually start? Actually, marketing did not start like marketing itself. No, it started with the production concept. Earlier days, everything was produced and it was given to the market. And the market was so huge, and they just started readily accepting whatever is being produced at the company. And then slowly, the market turned, or the organization shifted from the production concept to the product concept, where they started to focus on the features of the product. Couple of brands came up, especially in the automobile industries. During the production concept era, there was only one brand, one manufacturer. Later, when it shifted, the industry shifted to product concept. There were two brands, and there were a little competition felt in between these two competitors, and competitors concentrated on the features of the product, and then slowly evolved the concept of selling. When more number of people came into the industry, more number of car manufacturers came into the market, selling concept, the pushing concept came in. So each company made their own brand and pushed it to the market, saying that our product is the best, so and it has the best of the features in the entire market. So there evolved the selling concept, but then selling concept cannot last long. So you will have to take the marketing concept. So marketing concept is broad. You are selling not only the product, but also its values to the customers, because you want your customers to be retained. So I would say that marketing is a very, very broad concept, and to study the individual consumer behavior is very, very important. Only with doing this consumer research, you will be able to properly segment your market, target the appropriate consumers, and then position your products in the minds of the consumers, playing effectively with all the 7 P's of marketing. Thank you all.